Hi Stampin' friends. Tonight we're going to use the Favored Flowers Designer Series paper. It's another celebration paper. It has a lot of pretty colors in it. The base color is black, and then it also has Evening Evergreen and Mellow Moss for the greens that are in it, as well as Calypso Coral, Petal Pink, Blackberry Bliss, and Fresh Freesia are the other colors that it mentions. Now, then on the back side, you can kind of see these that has the two that are oranges only, two patterns. Then it has patterns that are both orange and purple in the big pattern. And then it has two purple patterns. Now, I wouldn't try to cut out these ones where they're actually touching, but it's really nice and easy to cut these guys out. Then the back side has a lot of patterns that are, there's a Fresh Freesia, Mossy Meadow. This one is both Mossy Meadow, whoopsie, I grabbed the wrong one, Mossy Meadow and Evening Evergreen. So that's kind of nice. And then there's Calypso Coral and Petal Pink again, and as well as your Blackberry Bliss, kind of a nice diamond pattern as well, kind of there. This paper, one thing I wanted to mention about when you cut out that makes it a little bit easier than normal. Let me try to, I don't know if I can get it where you can see that. Okay, between these flowers, there is a black outline. So if you didn't have room for this flower, let's say it was in the middle, but you had room for this Petal Pink flower, you can actually cut around the, flower, and there will be a little black border. So that makes it really nice when you're cutting to create, you don't have to worry about that you're cutting, what you're going to have on there is a piece of this orange. You're not. You're only going to have that little black border if you're cutting closely on there. All right, so let's get started. I forgot to mention also that it is a match for page 21 of the mini catalog. There's a set called Fragrant Flowers. It's a bundle, and it cuts out a lot of these same flowers, of course, and it also has stamps that say friend, love, hello, thanks, and then a little design. So that's kind of another possibility there. All right, so let's get started here. I have several that are like ready to put together tonight, so that'll be kind of different. This one, I kind of wanted to show you the possibilities here. If you like a purple background, I mean a background that's not so purple, if you don't mind these little guys here, if it looks busy, it doesn't look busy to you, then this could be really cute. And you could put that on the background here. Now wait, I should have grabbed this to go with it, to go under it. There we are. But if that looks a little busy to you, then you can flip one over and maybe use this pattern, and then you'll still have a pattern, but it won't be quite as busy, if that makes sense. It'll just be kind of a light sort of color. So kind of my point here was just sort of showing you that particular pattern. Now, I had a couple other things I wanted to try. I was going to do a quick, well, if I can find it, oh, here we are. I was going to stamp this real quick with a thanks, just to put it on here. I'm just going to use my Memento black, tuxedo black, stamping a little thanks. And this is actually, I used it last night. It's from the Carrot set that's called Thanks a Bunch from Celebration. And so I'm just going to stamp it on here, and just to kind of add a little bit more. I don't know if I inked that very well, but I won't make you sit here and wait on me while I think about whether I inked that or not. And I was just going to punch this. No, sure didn't. If I would stop putting my punches in the middle, I didn't used to have this problem quite as often as I seem to have now. Maybe my eyes are getting old. It's possible. Okay, so then I'm just going to punch that and dump all of this in my trash can. And what I liked about kind of showing this was just putting these layers on here. I should get this out of the way so it's not distracting. Putting these layers on here And then this is actually from the Fitting Florets bundle dies. And just to kind of make a little circle around it and to put your thanks on there like that. You could put ribbon around this circle. And you could also use a different size. Like, I don't know how to describe how I did this, but I punched several of these in, or I die cut several of these in different things. And so this is actually from the Frames dies, Fabulous Frames. And if I had done this in the same color, those kind of have the same shape to them. So my point is, I think that would look really pretty. I guess I could probably show this to you better if I used one of these that's like has both colors in it. Because if you really don't mind color, you could go crazy with using a lot of pretty colors together with this. And we have matching ribbons for both of those. So whichever color you want to highlight, you could put either the Pale Papaya or you could put the Fresh Freesia on there and then add your embellishments after. Now that was just to kind of show you my thinking on that. But this is what I was going for. And this one was just a thanks. You could raise these up on dimensionals and do that sort of a thing. All right, so on this one, what I kind of wanted to show you was putting this at the top and then maybe something else at the bottom. Then for your embellishments, certainly always, you know, I love to use ribbon, but we have these new opaque adhesive backed gems. And they come in a gorgeous grape and in the Fresh Freesia. But then there's also, in my opinion, for Fresh Freesia, the adhesive backed milky dots. And I think those look great with the Fresh Freesia. And then I also think, I'm not really sure what color this is supposed to be, and I didn't look intentionally so that I wouldn't know, because I thought, well, if it doesn't say it matches, I won't say that I think it looks good with this. But I think that this one looks great with the petal pink. So anyway, just my opinion on that. I think that really makes the oranges pop. This one's a little more yellow, of course, but I think this one looks great with the petal pink. So continuing this along, there's those two. I wanted to show you putting this. Another possibility, as you're putting this on, is putting a little bit of this Fresh Freesia across the bottom, because it makes a kind of a cute look. Just kind of breaking up all of this busyness, and then you could put your sentiment on that as another option. Okay, for this card, I used the Evening Evergreen base. And then, see the Mellow Moss there? That's a huge contrast. But then I put the Calypso Coral and Petal Pink on here. And this may seem really large to you, and you may be like, should you use white? And I don't know. I just feel like you can use white. So I kind of wanted to show it. And right now I'm looking for my other. I have another pretty little, this is the one I thought for the bottom. I have another pretty little guy there, and I'm not finding him immediately. Here we are. And then this one coming from the top. And I think that the white does break up. This would also be gorgeous if you did it in the petal pink. But I think that this white kind of is a little bit of a break from the petal pink, so that you can kind of see a little more contrast, and it makes your thank you really pop. So I think this may be my favorite one of these. So I think this is the one I'm going to go ahead and put together. No, I lie. This was actually my favorite one of these. That was this one on this with the thanks. There we go. I wanted to show you that as well. And putting these same guys on the top and the bottom of that. So I just thought that that made a really pretty card. Okay, I've got just a couple more to let you get back to whatever you were doing. I wanted to mention this gingham. This is actually Country Gingham 6x6, but look how pretty that will also break up this pattern. If it's too much for you, maybe it's not, but if it is too much for you, this would break that up. You put a little strip of that on there. So pretty. So for this card, all I was going to show you here was, now you could cut this down. I made both of these be 4 inches wide, but you could easily cut this down to where it's a layer on here, and then put your thanks, and then add 1 or 2, whatever, of your flowers under it, and then a bow in the middle. Oops, let me pop that around. Also, if you don't care for it to be quite this big, if you think that's a little large, I kind of experimented back and forth with this, putting the thanks on there like this. And then your flowers are completely all down on the petal pink layer. And then you could put this either over or under this as just to kind of add another aspect to it. I don't know if I've made that make sense there, but there's that one. So you can see I've got plenty more of these that I need to cut out. And I've only done this amount of what would be, you've seen all the things that I've done, and I've still got so many pieces left, but I've only used the amount that would be in a paper share of this paper, if that makes sense. I haven't used any extra pieces or anything out of that. And then I also still have these guys over here. So there is a lot of possibilities with this, a lot of different ways to use this. Now, you know, like I said, I wouldn't necessarily cut these guys out, but there are so many nice ones that you can cut out of these papers and use either singly or use them with other things. You know, use two together like I've done on some of these. So plenty of choices there. And let's see, let's go ahead and finish one or two of these. Just kind of get them all put together. I think I'm going to do this one. And see, as you can see, that would be another pretty one to use. Just super easy. The cards come together quickly. And I don't know about you, but since I started my new job, I have a lot of thank you cards to write for Christmas presents. So I am excited to be able to use this. That's why all of my sentiments say thank you. Obviously, the birthday would be a very easy one to do also, and it would be super cute. And I got this a little bit wonky. Sorry about that. Might just go ahead and get my paper cutter and fix it while you wait. Sorry about that. I should have checked it before I started gluing it down. That's kind of why I usually don't end up gluing things down very much on these. Let's see if I can get that. There, now as long as I haven't made it completely sideways, we'll be all set. Let's see here. Not too bad, I guess. A little bit more off the top probably would be a good idea. Okay. I'm going to pop these up on dimensionals. Let's get those right off. There we go. Now this one would, it's possible that it would look even better on just the petal pink, but I like how it brings out the little bits of Calypso coral on there that just kind of barely show up. I'm going to go ahead and put my thanks on dimensionals as well. I may be sorry about that because it may make it really thick, but I'm going to give it a try. There we are. Put these guys down here. And I only want to put dimensionals on the bottoms of these, so I think I'll use the smaller dimensionals for that. The little minis, because I just like to make sure of what I'm doing when I'm doing it. It just keeps it a little easier. And then on the top, the part that's going to kind of rest on the oval, I'm just going to go ahead and put some adhesive, just kind of there and there. Then I'm going to tuck that, kind of like that. Oh, I got that one a little far. Let me see here. I can get it scooted over just a bit. Don't want to have to get a different size envelope or anything. Okay, and you could play with that. Maybe you'd like this all the way up on the top, just 6 of 1 on that. And then you can play with it, decide if you think that that would look good around there. And if you do think so, it's very easy to put our mini dimensionals on this. Just put one on each end. And then if you want to be really careful, you can put two. The only thing I need to line up my edges so that the little pointy piece doesn't poke out. By pointy piece, I mean if you have it turned where the points of the dimensionals are out, they might show. The easier way to keep them from showing is to have them lined up, like I have this one wrong, to have them lined up perpendicular to the edges as you put it together. Let's do one more there. I'm just gonna grab these guys, these little backs off of here. Ooh, and they're everywhere. Okay, get rid of those. And then and I'm scooting this up a little more than you probably should to let a little bit of black show at the top, if that makes sense. And I may have to tweak this a little bit as I'm finishing up, but just for funnies right now. And then I'm going to put some of these guys on here. Let's see if I want to lift my thanks just a bit. Then I might want to, oh, I don't actually need to. Okay. So then I'm just going to put one on here. And I'm going to put one of the small ones up here in the black. And then I'm just going to put one right there. So I'm just kind of like putting it as if it's going off to the side. And then I just need if I can get a hold of it, mini glue dot. Have it a little low there. Okay. And then just try to decide where I think I might want that. I could certainly put it up here to kind of balance out since I put these on the other side. Hi, Shar, it's great. I could certainly put these up on since I put those on this side, I'll just scoot this little guy over so he's not hidden. Then I could put these on this side. That could be cute. And if you ever have any trouble, like these aren't laying like you want, you can always hide a half of a glue dot or a quarter of a glue dot under there to keep those going the way that you want them to go when you have time. Because like I'm looking at this and I'm not super happy with the way that it's laying, but that's pretty easy to fix with just a mini glue dot. But anyway, that's kind of a different kind of a look. Then I think the other one I finish is going to be this one. Just going to go ahead. I'm going to stick this one down to the paper because I could use, in this case, black dimensionals, but what I don't want is it to show through. I'm a little bit like, well, will it show through this paper? I haven't actually checked, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and glue it straight down. 1 second, a little tiny scooch. Okay, and then my thanks for the middle, and I think I'll just stick that straight down as well, so that the things that I pop up are really popped up. Let's see what I think there. I think that looks somewhat straight. There we go. And then I was thinking about putting this, actually I think I was thinking about putting it on the side, but maybe the bottom, maybe the top, maybe I need to put it a little higher up. Just being really careful to try not to bend it, and I think I did anyway, but oh well. Okay. I think I'll put this under here, this here. Let me turn this around and look at it again, just to be sure I like it. I kind of like it like that, honestly, but that's a cute way. You could debate this, like, does it go up? Does it go down? But I don't know that I necessarily think it matters. So I'm just going to go ahead and put some dimensionals under it. And then I am going to go ahead and get a small dimensional under these guys because I just don't want them to get caught in case as it's going into the envelope, in case I don't want it to get pulled up. So I'm just going to put it kind of like that. I'm going to put this guy over here. Actually, I think I like it over there. And then put my thanks either right here or over on the side. Then this one, you could debate back and forth. It's possible that you might think that that black ribbon, because I did get some here. If I can find it, I had a black bow made. Oh, there it is. The black actually looks great as well. Of course, you know, like we did at Halloween, you could color these with your Stampin' Blends. Color this pretty gingham ribbon, and you could put it, put the ribbon across the card, across the bottom of here, tuck it under the oval. That would be super cute. I had forgotten to mention that earlier. And that's just another, you know, you may prefer the black. Now, if I used black ribbon, I would go in and try to find my black, let's see, it's in the big catalog. There's like black and white and several colors of adhesive dots that will go on and look really cute with that one. But since I went with the Fresh Freesia, I'm going to use this Fresh Freesia adhesive backed Milky Dots. Put those on there. And I think they give it a slightly more elegant look, maybe, than the other things do. Let's kind of add those wherever. I actually think I want more of these. I think I want about 5 of these on there. It's kind of randomly. So there you can see how I completed that one. I appreciate you all watching, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.